So hello everyone, Vidya here again with another Facebook Live. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to use techniques to go from I can't to I can. So a bit of introduction about myself. So I'm Vidya Venkat. I've been in UAE, primarily in Dubai for the last 22 years. I'm a proud mom to two amazing sons, aged 18 and 20. I used to work for corporate in various roles in finance and IT for 20 years. And last year, I decided to train myself in RTT, which means Rapid Transformational Therapy. So to give you a bit story about my life, I had a lot of icon moments too. For years, I had issues with physical pain such as irritable bowel syndrome, constipation. I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic. I had success blocks, money blocks. For years, I never liked what I was doing at work, and also definitely relationship issues, not just with people around me but with myself too. So with all of this, obviously you can see that it manifested in the form of, I was diagnosed with depression 6 years ago. So I was constantly looking for ways to get quick and permanent results to all these issues. I've tried art of living. I'm an energy healer, so I've done pranic healing, you name it, and I have done all sorts of self-help programs. Any new program in the market, I would have bought it and I would have done it. So I did get some results. Like many of you, I believed in the power of the secret, or my idol was before Louise Hay, who cured herself of cancer through positive affirmations. So I've been following Louise Hay for the last 10, 12 years. I used to write positive affirmations from morning to night. So I did get some results, had few changes in my life, but then I kept going back to my issues again and again and again. So I would really work hard on myself, get some results, but then something will happen externally and I go back. Yeah, and another big thing I had was weight. So I had erratic weight gain and loss since I was a kid. I've tried all sorts of diet, exercise, and the same thing. I would manage to reduce my weight. Something will happen and I'll go back to my old ways of eating and lifestyle changes. So this in mind, I always kept looking for something that could give me quick and permanent results. And that's when I came across RTT, which means Rapid Transformational Therapy. So from the name, you know it's rapid and it's transformational, so it's quick and gives you permanent results. So now you would wonder, how do I help my clients now? I call myself a mindset consultant. I help you go from I can't to I can. So you must be wondering, how do I do that? So as I said, I'm a trained and certified RTT practitioner. So RTT is a multiple award-winning techniques that uses CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy, neuroplasticity, and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. So in a layman's term, I know this is a lot of jargons for people. So in a layman's term, what we do in RTT is, if your mind is like a computer, you go into your mind, access your mind, and then remove old files, delete glitches, and give you a powerful new programming. So this is like upgrading your mental software. So how many of you have how many of us actually keep upgrading our software, right? In our computers, in our phone, it doesn't work if we don't upgrade. But unfortunately, nobody's taught us to upgrade our mental software. Mind is the root, is the base for everything that happens in our life. So the beliefs that we form in the mind goes back to when you were in the mother's womb. So there have been various research that's been done to understand how the brain responses are and how we are able to use neuroplasticity to reprogram your mind. You must be wondering, how does this work? So let me talk to you more about beliefs and patterns, because that's what we're going to talk about today, of how you can change your thought process, your behaviors from I can't to I can. So as I said, all beliefs are formed before the age of 5 years, from the mother's womb till the age of 5. So what from a physiological sense, what this really means is, so when we are born, sorry, our brain has this million neuron pathways. So every time a thought we have, or a feeling that we have, or emotion that we have, there is a certain neuron pathway that is lit up. So the more we keep repeating our thoughts or repeating our feelings, this neuron pathway gets brighter and brighter and stronger and stronger. That's why for many of you, you would have heard when you were kids that when you're studying, they say write and learn, because the mind learns by repetition. So every time you keep writing and learning, your neuron pathway is lit up, and that forms a particular pattern in your life. And this pattern is there for us even when we are adults. So that's the reason we are adults, but when we have tantrums, when we have mood swings, when we have addictions like sugar cravings, it's the child in us who's used to a certain neuron pathway reacting and asking us to behave in a certain way. So with this in mind, for many years ago, people thought, you're just born with this, and whatever you're formed is going to stay with you for the rest of your life. So that's where neuroplasticity science comes in. Neuroplasticity, nothing, neuro means it's the nerves and the brain, the language of the brain, and plasticity is you molding something. So basically what we do in neuroplasticity is we are molding the brain. So as I said, whatever thoughts, feelings you have had as a child, that's become strong neuron pathways. So in RTT, what we do is we kind of rewire this pathway. So we start giving you new thought, new feeling, and then there's a new neuron pathway that is created out of this new thought. And then when you repeatedly listen to this new thought or new feeling, then that neuron pathway gets stronger than the previous ones, and at some point it replaces the old ones. That's the reason you would have heard that people say it takes 21 days at least to form a habit. It is because the neuron pathways have to get stronger and stronger, and then it replaces the old neuron pathway, which in a layman terms is your belief, is your values that you're formed as a child. And because you can change it, that means you have this power, amazing power, to live the life that you were born to live, that you desire to live, and that you deserve to live. I'm really sorry, my throat is just... So why do I say that? Because now it's in your hands. You know that you can change the thoughts, and then changing the thoughts is going to change the behavior and going to change a new physiological response in your brain. And that way you can change your mind to do what you want, to achieve what you want, right? So let's now take an example which is very common now, which I specialize with both in teenagers and in adults, is procrastination. So what is the word procrastination? It means that instead of doing something that we are supposed to do, we end up doing something else, right? Or we keep postponing the task. And a lot of time people who procrastinate put down themselves saying, oh, you know what, I'm lazy. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't focus, I'm bad at this. But it's not because you're lazy. You procrastinate not because you're lazy, not because you can't do something. It's because of two reasons. One, when you have too many things in your mind to do, your mind just shuts down. It gets overwhelmed, and it's like a machine, right? If you are overusing a machine, the machine will shut down. So same way, when you have too many things in your head, the mind just shuts down and says, you know what, I'm not doing anything. And that's when, instead of, it's very common with entrepreneurs, it's even common with kids. When you have to be studying, you'll be watching a YouTube video, or if you have to send a quotation, you will do anything except that. Second thing, the second reason is because procrastination is because fear of rejection or fear of failure. Now you will wonder, how is this two connected? It's very simple. So the mind's job is not to keep you happy, but to keep you safe. Because we were all born with the survival instinct, our mind is constantly, our brain is constantly looking for negativity, for any perceived danger. So like how animals have real danger, for humans it's perceived danger. So it's not just being hit by a car or it's just being knocked off, it's also the fear of your wounds being triggered. So as I said, by the time you're 5 years old, your beliefs and everything is formed, and that's where your wounds are formed, of not good enough, or somebody's put you down, your parents have put you down, people have put you down. So that wound is there, and fear of failure. Like when you did something as a kid, you failed, people have ridiculed you, ashamed you, whatever it is, there's a pain associated with doing something which is new to you. That's why for a lot of people, getting out of comfort zone is the most scariest thing, right? Because that means you're not safe according to your brain. So brain keeps doing things what is familiar because that is safe, not because it is good. That's the reason you'll see people repeatedly attracting bad bosses, bad jobs, staying in abusive relationships, is because that is familiar to the mind. The mind is stupid, as I always say. It doesn't know right or wrong, true or false. The only thing mind knows is to keep you safe. So as a child, somewhere you have told the mind that if I give this presentation, or if I study for this course or something, if I succeed, bad things can happen to me, or the pain of failure is so much that you have stored this in your brain. So now as an adult, you know logically that nobody's going to, like for example, I've seen this with a couple of my clients who had the fear of success or being visible, is because when they were in kindergarten, they were asked to say something, get up in the class and say something. And when they couldn't say it, the whole class laughed. So that time, their mind decided, I would do anything but present in front of people. I would do anything but to put myself out there. So now as an adult, they know that they are confident about what they do, but still they're scared to do a Facebook Live, or they're scared to present in front of people. It's because of the childhood wound. So again, coming back to procrastination, so it is the pain of failing is more than the pain of not doing something. This is confusing. I'll make it simple. So when I say pain of failure, right? So let's take an example of that. It is more for people who are in business, because they know they can get away with it. Or let's say, so let's take an example of that, right? So you're on a job, you have a task to be done. The task has to be done by tomorrow. So now when you sit down to do the task, you have everything focused, you're saying focus. But then another email comes in, or a colleague calls you, or there's a meeting that's set up. So you will end up doing everything else except this task. Reason? Maybe this task is new to you. So your mind is scared that if I do something new, I can fail in it. And if I fail, it goes back to my old wound of not good enough. Or this task is something that you know if you do it, you'll be visible in front of your management, or you'll get even a promotion. And because as a child, you're not used to being praised, or you're not used to having success in your life because of your situations, there is the fear of success. So again, some people have blocks around success. If I'm successful, I may not have friends. If I'm successful, people will misuse me. So many blocks that we have. So the other reason is, if I succeed, if I do this work, if I complete this task by tomorrow, my boss can praise me, or I can get a promotion, or I can actually be successful in something. And that is scary for some people, because for somebody who is so used to failure, again, fear of success is fear of unknown. So that is again will stop them from doing the task. So as you see, procrastination comes from two things. One, the fear of the unknown, that I don't know this work, so if I do it, I may end up failing. Or I'm not used to succeeding, or fear of success is so high that it's better not to succeed rather than succeed. So it's all about the pain. So what you need to do is figure out what is your pain, reduce the pain of failure, give pleasure to your achievements. So like a radio frequency, bring down the pain of failure or rejection and increase the pleasure of succeeding. Now I'm going to talk to you about another technique that I really love, which is called I can't to I can. So all these techniques is thanks to RTT, our founder Marisa Peer, who had 35 years of experience as a multiple award-winning therapist, has come up with this course, RTT, and we are around 10,000 practitioners across the world doing these techniques for our clients. So this is her, again, concept, which is called looping ladders. So if you see, there's a ladder here. It's got thoughts, feelings, action, and again a thought. And then you have I can't to I can. So if any of you, it's very easy to draw it. You can take a picture of it if you want. Or you can draw your own ladder. Or if you need a copy of this, you can just send me a direct message and I'll share this document with you. So here we are going to focus on procrastination, right? So why you're not able to focus and finish your work. So let's start with the thought that I can't complete this task, right? I can't finish this task by tomorrow. Now, when you have this thought that I can't finish this task by tomorrow, what kind of feeling will you have? You'll feel upset, irritated, even angry at yourself or angry at your boss or who's made you do this. And what kind of, so a thought of I can't complete this tomorrow translates into a feeling of I'm irritated, I'm upset, I'm angry. So naturally, when you have this negative feeling, what you end up taking is no action. Yeah, you procrastinate, you do everything else except the task. So you don't do the work. And because you procrastinate and don't do the work, what are you going to feel? What's the thought again? That I'm not good at this, that I'm really bad, I'm lazy. So many negative thoughts about yourself. So now what we're going to do is by just changing, so what Marisa says is this is called a looping thought. So by just changing the thought from I can't to I can, you can definitely influence your feeling and your behavior through that. So let's see that. So instead of saying I can't complete this task, you say I can get help to complete this task, or I can complete this task, right? Just change that thought positive. When you say I can do this, what's the kind of feeling that you have? You feel focused, you feel happy, you're so positive. So it's like, so when I say I can achieve this task or I can complete this task, I feel accomplished, I feel happy, I feel focused. And when you feel focused, what action are you going to take? Definitely you're going to work on the task. Maybe not the whole task, but you will start the process of doing it. And then when you have done it, that's a huge sense of achievement that you're going to feel. And then that will go back into a thought of, I'm good at this, I've done this, I've achieved this, I no more procrastinate. So this is a very simple technique. It looks simple, but it's so powerful. Please share this with your kids, with your teams. It's very quick. Anybody can do it anytime. And I guarantee you that in just few minutes, you're going to go from I can't to I can. So that's me. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. So I'll leave 2 minutes for questions. Any comments, not just even questions, any comments, any feedback would be amazing. And for those of you watching this later, please leave your feedback and comments and reach out to me at vidya@justbeyoualways.com, or you can reach me out on my FB profile, which is Vidya Venkat, and my Insta at Vidya Mindset Changer. So any questions, any comments, any feedback, please do type it, share it. Okay, so I'm unable to focus while studying and it's very frustrating. So this is a thought that I have, that I can't focus while I'm studying, right? And that's making you frustrating. So Ashwin, instead of saying I can't focus while studying, can you say I can focus or I focus? So when you say I focus while studying, the feeling that you're going to have is, what's feeling you're going to have when you say I can focus? I can guarantee you that you will feel happy and you will be focused. And then when you change that feeling into positive of instead of frustrating, I'm focused, I can achieve this, then the action you're definitely going to take, you're going to sit down in front of your good feeling, exactly correct. Then you're going to sit in front of your laptop or whatever, and when you start studying, the action you're going to take is actually studying, right? And also when you have this, I'm unable to focus, maybe you also ask yourself why you're not able to focus. Is it, as I go back to the 2 reasons I told you, you're not able to do something either because it's something new and you have the fear that if you do it, you will not succeed, or it is something that can get you better marks, and when you're not used to that achievement mentality, your mind will stop you from doing it. So find out what is the reason for not focusing. So if it's a new subject, then you can go and ask for help. You can find out ways to learn the subject, understand the meaning better, so that your mind then gives you the energy to focus and study. I hope this answered your question. Okay, thank you everyone. As I said, if you're watching this later, please do reach out to me if any questions, and please put your comments and feedback whenever you watch this video. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week.